Hello. These two packages cost me $400. They're going to make me way better espresso. Let's get into it. So, first package. The big one is the auto comb here. So the auto comb is a WDT tool. You can think of it like one of these guys, but big. Currently, I have one of these guys with a little magnetic pole which sits on the bar. But the cool thing is our espresso machine is also magnetic, so we can just slap it on the side of the espresso machine. We tend to use that more than we use this little pole. But this guy, by Barista Hustle, is meant to simplify that a little bit. Automatic WDT tool. Looks like this. Read me first. You can read that if you so care to. But basically it sits on top of your portafilter and spins in place of this little guy. It's like a bigger version of that does the job for you, ideally. I'll grab a portafilter. Yeah, so one of these things. Normally you have coffee grounds in here and you just mess with it like that. But this guy sits on top and spins for you like so. This is mostly for consistency for my purposes, but maybe once we get the hang of it, it's also a little faster. Now, ideally, it saves me money because consistency is the big thing, right? If I'm throwing out every 1 in 4 shots dialing in because it's a random off-kilter shot, I'm losing a lot of money. So that's the one. That's meant to make this kind of chaotic process with the WD tool a little bit more consistent. Next we have the tamper. Now there are two ideas with tamping, right? One, you have spring-loaded tampers, and those just automatically apply the correct amount of weight. I find weight to be variable, and as long as you can apply it consistently, the espresso machine will lock in the rest. So what I'm looking for is posture correction. This tool is a little bit lighter than ours. It's matte. It's a little bit wider. So our tamper now is like 58 millimeters, so they say, which is the basket depth, or basket width. This is 58.5 or something like that. It's a little bit wider, which, unlike our one now, which you can kind of just plop in there, this one is the exact width. So it's posture correcting because you kind of have to, in order to get it all the way down, you have to have perfect posture. And what's more important to me is bed posture than strength. I feel like as long as we're in the right range with power tamping, we're all in the clear. It's more so just correctly getting that bed depth left to right. Yeah, and I mean there's an argument to be made. You can have some of these that do that for you as well. But for the price and the versatility and the weight, I just kind of like the simple, slightly wider version of a tamper, and that's this guy. So those two tools are by Barista Hustle. The Barista Hustle tamper, 58.40 millimeters, and the auto comb. Next we have some new baskets for the portafilter. So the basket I have now is the stock basket. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward. It's got a little ridge on the inside. These ones are ridgeless, but the idea is they're a little bit more porous and a little more consistent than this one is, which hopefully prevents channeling and allows more extraction. So I'm going to compare that. Also, these baskets, even though it's worn away, typically your basket will say 17 grams somewhere on there. in our case for the 17-gram basket. This is a 20-gram basket. So the stock I got was 17 and this one is 20, so it's got a bit more depth, which we pull 2 shot sizes in our portafilters at 17 and 19 grams in. So having up to 20 is going to be helpful for us, hopefully, so we can have that depth variety. As you can see, there's no ridge in here like there is in here. And as you can see on the bottom, I mean, I can tell, I'm not sure if you can tell, the holes are a tiny bit bigger, it seems, at least to me. And it comes with some data, a close-up image of those filters, hole sizes, consistency is the big thing here. There's a few different types of baskets you can buy. I've always heard that VST is the best, so that's what we got this time around. In addition to baskets, we also have new gaskets for the baskets. These go when the portafilter is locked in around the outside. Now these are going to be stuck on the inside of the espresso machine up there, and this locks into this sort of like rubber bandy gasket here. I just took out our old gaskets, which now look like this. Pretty beat up, but not too bad. I was able to pull it out in one piece. We replace our gaskets a little bit more often, like once a year at our current volume. When I received this, it was neon blue, kind of like this one's neon red, so you can see we've really worn it in, but it's not totally destroyed. I broke it to get it out. So we can get this out of the packaging. These are pretty easy to get. They're not very expensive. They're pretty standardized. But it's nice to get a nice bright neon instead of black like this so that you can see once it's worn in that it's kind of time to change it out based on just the color before it starts breaking apart on you. And the last thing, which was only about $50 for my cost, is a good scale. My personal favorite scale is the Black Mirror Basic. When I first bought this scale, it was just called the Time More Black Mirror. Now it's called the Black Mirror Basic 2. This scale lasted me about 3 years. I had 2 of them. When we opened the shop, I had 4 scales. 2 of them were Black Mirrors, and 2 of them were another brand that I won't name. The other brand broke within a few months. This one, which was actually a lot cheaper, I think I bought it for, again, $50 or so, has lasted us like 3 years. It's waterproof. If it ever gets off weight, you can reset the weight to like, kind of like how you reset a scale to get the correct weight on it, like a food scale or something else like that. Like a gram scale, you know, that's, I guess it is a gram scale ultimately. What I like about this scale is it fits under the espresso machine for espresso shots, and it also can hold up to 2,000 grams if you're doing like syrup recipes or something. So it's versatile, super fast, super consistent, and programmable. Has a countdown timer, all that good stuff for espresso or for bulk recipes. This is just a very consistent scale. Let's see if it has battery. It does. It also had a Type-C charger since we got it, which was very cool because it was kind of an older scale when we bought it. Looks like it's turning itself on right now. Yeah, see how fast that is? I just love it. If you hold this 5 times, now it's in countdown mode, and then when you start like pulling a shot on it, it starts the countdown up here. So we also use that for like pour overs, AeroPresses, or whatever, in addition to espresso. Very fast, very reliable, rechargeable scale. Love the Time More Black Mirror. Those are my recommendations, or at least what we're going with for now. We're going with Autocomb and Barista Hustle Tamper. Going with the VST 20-gram ridgeless baskets, 2 new gaskets, and this scale. Hopefully this makes us a little bit more consistent espresso than our stock baskets and our kind of hand tools, like our basic hand tools here. I've been told they will. We also use an over-the-edge tamper And our portafilters, we took the bottoms off of the stock baskets so that it sits flush with this right here, which lets us pretty much get on the edge here without much trouble. And because we don't split shots, we don't really need it to split. That's just a setup we like. But we have the stock portafilter as well, which I really like, the heavy duty La Marzocco ones. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. See ya.